Okay, so I haven't blogged in a while, needed to do a post, been thinking about one, didn't feel like typing, so this is what you get. And I was at an association gathering, bunch of insurance agents, and conversation comes up, what do you guys do? What does Confluency Solutions do? And of course, the answer is the condensed version. We do websites and we help agents through a best practice approach learn how to use those websites in conjunction with traditional programs, traditional initiatives, and in conjunction with third-party web tools that are largely free. What do you do so that you get the most payoff, the most ROI from the web tools that you invest in? And how do you communicate with customers today? So, two answers I got when responses that I got when I told people what we do, or things that I've heard for a long period of time. I'll give that to my technology guy, and the other one, of course, is I'm in the insurance business, and that technology stuff kind of hurts my head. I don't really want to deal with it. And I started to think, am I hearing that the same amount that I've heard it over the last 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, or is the number of times I'm getting that response kind of dwindling? And I think I'm hearing it about the same amount. And that's a little disturbing. There was an educational session one of the days on reaching Generation Y, which is a big concern to many agencies. It's certainly a big concern to the associations. It's a segment that is not effectively reached by most agencies today. And I thought about the whole technology thing in the context of that session. Of course, you have people using Facebook and other kinds of social media like YouTube, like blogs. And the session was not very well attended. I think there were 6 people in there, only 3 of whom were agents, and I think really only representing 2 agencies. And the conversation at different times kind of became dismissive. Well, I think people today don't know how to develop relationships because they're on Facebook all the time and they're texting all the time. And I don't want to get into that. But the fact of the matter is, that is where they are. That is how they're communicating. And if you think about calling the web and web-based tools, social media, technology, it's really about the same thing as calling a typewriter technology at a point, or it's calling a paper and pencil or a paper and pen technology at a point. It's not technology. It's simply the way some people choose to communicate, and predominantly in Generation Y, it is the way they choose to communicate. So if you're not out there in the web someplace, if you're not out there in social media, and it's not always easy to figure out how to leverage that stuff, I'll be the first to admit that. But if you're not there, you can't make that first connection with those customers, and you really put yourself at a deficit when it comes to acquiring them. And in the text part of the blog post, I have this rhetorical question: what business are you in? The easy answer is insurance. That is a question that's worth thinking about, and the answer you'll come to sometimes will be something a little different than just insurance. It's protection, it's peace of mind business, it's whatever. I don't want to get into that, but what I would like to say is that any business, and the insurance agency business is no different, any business has to concern itself with acquiring customers, keeping customers, and making sure the relationships with those customers are profitable. And there has to be value on both sides of that. So you have to have profitable relationships. Your customers have to see value in the agency relationship. And by the way, excuse me, if they do, then you can get more customers and you can leverage that to, of course, keep customers longer. But the way you do that, and this is coincidental because we are developing a customer development and communications segment to our best practice series. The way you develop customers that way, the way you get them, keep them, do more with them, get them so that they're more profitable, is through communication. 5 to 7 touches a year. Now the vehicles, I would submit, particularly with some segments like Gen Y, the vehicles are changing. It's not so much the typewriter, it's not so much the mail. It's even moved beyond email. And many of us have not leveraged that communication medium yet. So I'm a little concerned at things like the attendance at that session. And I talk to people afterwards and asked people to speculate on why they thought it was so sparsely attended, the Gen Y, Reaching Gen Y session. And one of the responses I got was, well, there was a competing session at the same time, agency perpetuation. And the ironic thing to me is that these two things are really interrelated, that an aging book of business, aging ownership, and aging in the key employee force spells perpetuation problems for agencies. And I think I don't think we view the two things as being as closely intertwined as they really are. And hopefully, I do see agencies who are out there, who are using email, who are in the social media world, and they're trying to figure out what to do with it. They're having some success. They're getting more customers in their 20s and 30s, but I'd like to see that number grow. And I think the sooner we start or we stop just sloughing off this, the web stuff is technology, or I don't do that. I do insurance. The sooner we start sloughing that stuff off and start to think about web tools as a communication medium and a way to get customers, keep customers, make the relationships more profitable, the sooner we'll start to capture more Generation Y customers. Anyway, let me know what you think. Thanks.